Since winter is over and summer is here, it's vacation season. It is said that by going on vacation, you reduce stress, you improve your productivity, reduce your overall risk of death, and study shows that you become a happier person. Probably the most difficult thing about vacation is planning. There is actually a lot of thought that you have to consider when planning a vacation. You have to figure out logistics and also your budget. This can be hard if it is a place that you never traveled before and not sure how much everything costs. In this video, I'll break down whether or not all-inclusive resorts are really worth it financially. What's up guys, Naam here. If you're new to this channel, here I talk about personal finance and investing. And in today's topic, we're going to talk about all-inclusive resorts. We see them advertised on TV all the time. The convenience of all-inclusive resorts saves us time on the planning process. But is it worth it? So in this video, I analyze the pros and cons, compare the cost of staying at an all-inclusive resort or doing it yourself, and whether or not all-inclusive resorts are for you. There is a reason why all-inclusive hotels exist. It is the convenience. Here are some of the benefits of booking at an all-inclusive hotel. Food and drinks. At most all-inclusive resorts or hotels, food and drinks are typically included. Depending on the resort, alcohol is sometimes included as well. By having your meals and your drinks included on the bill, this is one less thing you have to think about while relaxing. This makes it easy not to overspend on food. At most of these all-inclusive hotels, they have endless buffets, which can be great for picky eaters or people traveling with people who are or with kids. The next pro is the location. A lot of all-inclusive resorts are close to major airports and big cities and even beaches. The logistics of getting to your hotel or back to the airport is simple and sometimes is included with the resort package. If you are less adventurous, you may feel safer staying at a resort since everything is familiar. Next is the itinerary. This is probably the most time-consuming things to figure out when planning for a vacation. Most all-inclusive hotels or resorts have activities on site, so you wouldn't have to travel far from the hotel. So you could do things like scuba dive, kayak, or other things that you normally wouldn't do due to the costs. The next pro is that it is easier to budget. Since you're staying at a hotel or resort and everything is included, you already know what you're spending on your vacation. This makes it much easier to stick to your budget since lodging, food, and activities all go into your price of your stay, and you often have a better idea of how much your vacation will cost. So there are many pros to staying at an all-inclusive hotel, but there are also some downsides. The first one is hidden fees. Even though most resorts and hotels claim to be all-inclusive, not everything that you want to do may be included in the price. So there may be some activities or services, even restaurants, that you may have to pay out of pocket for if you want to use them. Some common things that are not included in all-inclusive resorts are things like spas, boat tours or water sports, and long-distance calls. So just make sure that you read the fine print to know exactly what you're getting into.
Always read the fine print, amigo.
Another con is the local experience. If you're one of those type of people who like to see the native culture, explore local villages or neighborhoods, the resort probably won't provide that. Because most resorts and hotels are situated near each other, you have to travel quite a bit of a distance to experience the local life. To get all the benefits and perks from all-inclusive hotels, you're pretty much confined to the resort. Because if you're dining and doing things off the property, you're just spending more money than you normally would. If you are a foodie and you like to try new and local cuisines, you probably won't get that experience from the food at the all-inclusive resort. They may have picked a few dishes from the local people, but the majority of their foods will be westernized. Because most resorts cater to Americans and Europeans, so you probably find similar foods back home. Now, let's compare the costs between all-inclusive hotels versus do-it-yourself. There are a lot of different things that go into pricing a trip, which makes it difficult to understand if an all-inclusive hotel is better than planning a trip by yourself. So let's say that you want to visit Cancun, Mexico. After doing a quick analysis on Expedia for resorts in Cancun for 7 days, this is what I found. The total cost of a deluxe room with an ocean view at an all-inclusive resort in Cancun is about $2,100. For the same hotel at the Marriott, which is a pay-as-you-go hotel, comes out to be about $1,900. But the thing about this resort is that they offer a daily $50 worth of resort credit. So if you add that up for 7 days, that comes out to be about $350. So in this situation, a pay-as-you-go option is cheaper than an all-inclusive resort option. Again, this only really depends on how much money that you want to spend, so you know how much money that you're actually going to save. Now let's talk about how you know that you're getting the best deal. First, you want to start by looking at the fine print to see what's everything included as all inclusive. Then you got to ask yourself some questions. Does it cover everything that I want to do for this trip? For example, can I go off the property to experience the local life? Or is there any activities that are not included that I may want to do? You may want to think if tip is included or not. Depending on the country that you visit, tipping may or may not be customary, and sometimes gratuity is already included in the all-inclusive price. Another question to ask yourself is how much do you care about food? Because if you are a picky eater and not that adventurous to try local cuisine, then your best bet is to eat it at a buffet or restaurants that are offered on the resort. On the other hand, if you like to try new foods and local cuisine, then the do-it-yourself option may be best. According to my research and frequent travelers, they say that all-inclusive resorts are generally a better value for your money, because you can often book a reservation at an all-inclusive hotel for about the same price as you would at a similar hotel that didn't have an all-inclusive option. If you don't plan on leaving the resort or hotel and plan on eating and drinking all day while relaxing, then it makes sense to go with an all-inclusive resort. All-inclusive resorts are more for people who want the convenience near them and not wanting to explore. But if you're adventurous and you want to explore the food and culture scene, then the do-it-yourself method will work the same for your budget as well. Let me know in the comments below if you ever stayed at an all-inclusive resort and whether or not that you thought it was worth it. Come hang out with me a little more and learn more about personal finance over here.